Hi guys, welcome back. Here we are for part one of our Healing the Inner Child series. Last week we talked about what is an emotional wound and what is your inner child. And essentially your inner child is the part of your brain that stores all of your emotional experiences from your childhood, good or bad. And these experiences determine the lens at which you view the world. So the way you view relationships, the way you make decisions, your first reactions to things, your impulses, and your inner thoughts. And so today I've uniquely entitled this video, Messages My Mother Missed, because we're going to discuss some messages that you should have received and it should have been communicated to you as a child and what happens when these messages were missed. So stay tuned. Now, throughout this video series, I'll refer to mothers a lot, but I want you to make it personable and relate to any person that you felt had the responsibility of tending to your needs as a child. So whether it was a present father or an absentee mother, a grandparent, an aunt and uncle, whoever you feel like was responsible for addressing your needs as a child, that is who I want you to think about when we're talking about the messages that my mother missed. It's just easier for me to say mom because that's what most people can relate to. But like I said, you make this as personal as possible and think about the caregiver that was responsible for addressing your needs. So the first message that we're going to discuss today is the message that says, I'm here for you and I'll make time for you. When a caregiver effectively communicates this message, we feel like a priority. We feel like we have space. We feel like we can be relaxed, we can be secured because we know whatever need that we have, our caregiver will address it and address it effectively. But sometimes, for whatever reason, our parent, our mom, our dad, our aunt, our uncle, whomever was responsible for caring for us and meeting those needs, does not effectively communicate that message. And as a result, it can leave an emotional wound that we've carried into adulthood. So when we didn't receive this message from those that were charged with taking care of our needs, we may feel like other things are more important than us. We may feel like no one ever makes us a priority. We may feel like people aren't dependable, that we have to take care of everything ourselves, that we can't count on anybody but ourselves. If we want something done, we have to do it because no one else can do it like we do it, and we can't trust anyone. The second message that we'll discuss today simply says, you can rest in me. Now, your caregiver, your mom, your dad, they didn't have to say this verbally, but through their actions non-verbally, you knew that being with them, it was a protected space, that nothing was going to harm you, that you could be your authentic self without worry or fear. Now, for some reason, maybe you didn't feel like you were protected with your caregiver, that they didn't meet that need that says, you're safe with me, I'll guard you, I'll protect you. Maybe you were abused, maybe you were neglected, maybe you were abandoned. And for this very reason, even as an adult, you feel like you can't let your guard down, like you have to wear different masks, like no one can ever know the vulnerable you. You always have to be strong. You always have to be together. No one can ever know your weaknesses because knowing your weaknesses, knowing your vulnerabilities, that'll mean someone can hurt you again. And so if you feel like this is you, then you may have not had this message communicated to you as a child. And it's causing a consequence or it's causing a negative effect in your adulthood. So I have plenty of more messages to communicate, but that's all we're going to do for today. But let me close by saying this. If you are watching this video series and you feel inadequate, you don't feel like you can be your authentic self, you don't feel safe, you don't feel like you can trust people, you may feel isolated and on guard, or that you have to wear masks everywhere you go. I want to say that you are valued, You are a priority. The needs that you have, they are important and they deserve to be met. And listen, if while watching this video, some feelings and maybe some emotions, maybe flashbacks of what you experienced in your childhood has happened, don't be afraid to reach out to me. Click the link in the comment section and let's talk. You've suppressed it for long enough. Let's heal that wound. You deserve to be your best self. I hope that you join me next week so that we can go over some more messages that my mom missed, because my goal for you is to be your authentic self. I can't wait to continue this journey with you. See you next week.